Okay, so I got this comment under one of my videos that alerted me that I needed to look a little bit deeper into this Gail Lewis situation. So this woman says, supposedly Gail was the side chick in his first marriage. I guess she left that part out. I didn't know, but this showed me that I needed to go to TikTok and see what was going on. So she posted 3 more videos today. Actually, she posted 4 videos because she had posted one this morning that got taken down before I had a chance to see it. But this is where you guys can start. If you're on my TikTok page, I'm just going to embed the links. You can just click it. Now, she did post screenshots of their conversation. Remember, her story time started because he was out of the country and he was flying in, and she was trying to see when he was flying in. That is the reason why she even started calling the airline. And he's in gray, talking about his flight got canceled. He'll see her tomorrow around 3:40. He can't wait. She's like, okay, love bug, one more sleep until I see my baby. He's like, that's right. Night, night, pretty young thing. And oh, this is a couple of days before that. She's talking about love me some you, love bug, and I appreciate how hard you go for us. I'm grateful. I may take one of Gump's wines. I'm country. I want to try. So she's just showing that just a couple of days before he landed, they are still, talking sweet to each other. Hope you're having a great day, pretty girl. So, this is typical husband and wife thing. She doesn't show any indication that there is anything going wrong in this situation. And in this, he was like, this is the hardest $25,000 he ever made. So you see the timestamp is October 30th, 2022. He's like, no, she's like, I made it, love bug. And he's like, enjoy, you happy self, baby. Love you. Love you too, love bug. So, they're still obviously talking like they're a normal, regular couple, all this love bug, and, they're happy and they're saying, I love you and all of that. So there's no indication that at this particular time that she knows anything about the other woman. And then her world gets blown up when the customer service rep says, look, you really need to know this name. You need to know this name. So anyways, this is where we are. If you're on TikTok, watch those videos. If you're on YouTube, here come the videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.
Good morning, y'all. Earlier this morning, I posted a lengthy and detailed video stating that today was my 28th wedding anniversary, and I was giving some details about how I met my husband. And I told you all earlier that, we're going through this process right now. I can't share too much of it, but I would share everything once we kind of get through. But I feel the need to address this. I really shouldn't have to, but I want to. So I ain't nobody's victim, and I ain't having nobody's pity party. So my original post was about me seeing him and her for the first time in the airport. I admitted that I was shocked. I was. And the video was only about 7 seconds where I said, have a good flight. I think I said, hey, Harold, have a good flight. And I walked on off, right? And I turned the video off after that. And then I said something like, that's his mistress. He's my husband. I'm the wife. And I went on back to where I was sitting in the Sky Club. Didn't say anything else. So I guess she's is saying something about when we got to the gateway to get on the plane. Yeah, I said some things to him, but he's my husband, so I can say whatever I want to say to him. And it's just like kicking any trash can. You kick it, and the trash may get over on you too. So some of it, she might have caught some of the flack, but that's just par for the course when when you do this kind of stuff. And well, it wasn't too much I could do anyway because I had filed for divorce the year earlier. I filed for divorce in December of 22, so wasn't anything I really could do, guys. But other than doing what I did do, and then I kept it moving. But let me tell you something. Me and this girl are not the same person. When she met my husband, she knew he was married. She actually encouraged him to leave me. She was doing really disrespectful shit. She came to my Spelman Morehouse homecoming and sat under my tent and saw me sitting right there beside him and knew he was married. And we were all having a good time. There was no animosity that day. We were all having a good time. So as far as I'm concerned, she came around my family uninvited. Or actually, he might have invited her, but she knew what the deal was. Then she had the nerve to post that clip of Sunshine from Harlem Nights the day that I found out everything. Yeah, because I went on one of her pictures and kind of said a few things. And then she posted that video just kind of trying to taunt me. So I'm like, so you're going to taunt me and gloat after I find out that you've been with my husband. So, I'm like, So like I said, I don't owe anyone an explanation, but I'm keeping it 100. So I ain't judging him. I ain't judging her. But at the same time, she and I ain't the same. And this is not about her. This is all about him and his lies, his deception, and all of that. So before you all get to start want to judge me and start talking about it's karma and all that, it could be, but it is what it is. So, I mean, I got to live with it, you know. I'm going to be accountable for 100% of all my shit. So, but I'll say before you all start throwing stones and want to judge somebody, you know, you need to hear the whole story. So, you know, every woman he's ever been with has been deceived and lied to. But I'll give you the story about how he and I met and what the situation was. Stand by. Hey, y'all. I'm going to address this part about the start of my relationship with my husband, and I'm going to be done. And you can say what you want to say, do what you want to do. I mean, it is what it is, and that was almost 30 years ago. But when I was introduced to him, I was told he was not married. Only to find out later that he was. So I told him then that I did not deal with married men and that I didn't want to do anything to some other woman that I didn't want done to me. And I meant that, and I still hold to that. So, of course, he gave me the standard, you know, we've been having problems and all that kind of stuff. And whenever I would talk to him, I would tell him, he would try to be hitting on me, but I would knock it right down because I wasn't attracted to him. My husband was overweight, morbidly obese, actually. But he was a nice guy. But when I would talk to him, I would encourage him to stay with his wife and kids. And I thought he thought that was the oddest thing, but that's what I would do. I would encourage him because I didn't like him like that. And I was like, you're married, so this ain't going anywhere anyway. So he kept asking me like, you know, like, what if I was divorced because she and I having problems and all of that? And I was like, well, if that's the case, you need to get your problem handled. I said, I can't even think about ever even dating you or doing any of that because you're still married. So lo and behold, he tells me that he's going to divorce her. He started his process and that, you know, he wanted me to be his girl and all that kind of stuff. Actually gave me some diamond earrings to let me know. He was like, this is to let you know that I'm super duper serious about this thing. So I was like, well, okay then, because during this whole time, we had no intimate relationship or any of that for like 3 months. Because actually I was calling him Al Bundy. And he didn't even know why I was calling him that. Because he was like, why you always call me Al Bundy? And I was like, because you married with children and I don't mess with Al Bundys or whatever, right? So once he started his divorce proceedings, he asked me would I date him. So I did. So there may be some fault there where I started dating him before his actual divorce was final. But I made sure that he had filed divorce because that's what he told me. So we did take a trip to the Essence Music Festival the first year. And a phone call came in. And, you know, I'm assuming that it was his wife. But the way he responded to the call let me know that, you know, basically something was up. And that he probably had lied to me. So when we get off the phone, I was like, I thought you filed for divorce. Like, why was that conversation going that way? He didn't really have too much to say. But he was like, well, no, I talked about it, but I was going to file. I'm still doing some reach out. I'm filing when I get back and all that kind of stuff. So, of course, I was furious because I was like, you've lied to me. Like, why would you, tell a lie like that? You know, the only reason I came with you on this trip was because you told me you had filed and all that kind of stuff. And I'm thinking everything kosher with them and that I didn't have anything to do with that. Because he told me in the beginning, like, no, she and I having issues. And if I file for divorce, it has absolutely nothing to do with you. So I was like, well, okay, then. So, like I said, I wasn't attracted to him at first. But he was a really nice guy, really nice guy. He was a professional guy, was president of a company and all that kind of stuff. But I had my own thing. I was working. I was a single mom doing my own little thing. So I didn't really need him for anything. But the only thing that I'll say about that was, yeah, I did start dating him after he filed for divorce. And I think from the time I met him to the time he divorced was like a 10-month span. So those first 3 months, I didn't say anything to him, like romantically, because I was not attracted to him. And that is for real. If you see the picture of him before, you'll know why, but he was a nice guy. So I'm just saying. But I'll say that, maybe me dating him before the divorce was final, was wrong. And I'll take accountability for that. But I can't go back, 30 years now and correct that. I'm just trying to move forward and do what's right. But, Miss Thing is trying to like paint this narrative like, oh, she was doing the same thing. Not the same thing at all, because my whole time I was encouraging him to stay with his people. She did not. I have the text messages between them from the day they met to, all the things that he was telling her, the things she was telling him and telling him that she didn't have anything and that she left her family with just the clothes on her back, and just this little sob story for him. So I guess he went with it. But like I said, y'all, this was originally about me posting a video of me seeing them for the first time in the airport. So I ain't judging her. I ain't gonna judge him. Like I said, I'm not, but it ain't like I willfully went out and decided like I'm gonna go and destroy his family. It was nothing like that. So a lot of us were deceived. A whole bunch of us were deceived. So that is what he has done. That's what he continues to do. So, I'm going to let it be what it is. And like I said, once we get further down the road in this process, I can share some things. I don't know how to share the receipts on here. I thought you could only do videos. So anybody that knows how you can post pictures and all of that of the text messages, I'll show you that I ain't got no lie to tell. And the whole time, I never talked to my husband's former wife. The only conversation we ever had was when she would bring the kids over and stuff like that. But she never said anything to me about me being the cause. But I did find this out, that after she found out that he and I was breaking up, she told someone that she was like, oh, she finally found out after all these years. Like, she finally found out who he really is. Because I think I mentioned in the earlier video about him telling me about how she was not having any kind of intimate relationship with him. And he thought it was because she was depressed and, had some postpartum and all of that. Turns out, word got back to me. She was like, I wasn't depressed, or I didn't have postpartum either. It was because I was tired of being in the doctor's office because he kept giving me stuff. So, I'm going to just leave it there, guys. And like I said, once all this is over, I'll come back and give you plenty of details. So old girl can keep telling all the stories she want, but they hanging, they doing their thing. I just got a message from a woman this morning who saw them out in Dallas last night at Trulux and said that, old girl got pregnant by her husband some years ago while she lived in California. So she was like, she's all about the money. So, and she is, and I'm telling you, y'all, yeah, I've lived a privileged life, but I've earned everything I've got here in this household. When he was sick, when he was doing all his other stuff, when he had to get shit wiped off of him, she wasn't here. I was wiping shit, cleaning up vomit, and all the things that a wife would do. So for better or worse, yeah, I stuck in between all of that. So like I said, I'm going to end this right here. You can say what you want, judge how you want, but it's all good. I'm going to be good in the end. I was just sharing and hoping that my story would empower someone else to not be embarrassed, to stand up on your own, but it is what it is, and I'm living for today. Hope y'all have a good one. Hey y'all, this is my last video for today. No one likes being called a liar, and particularly me. So I have not lied to you all. I have no reason to deceive you. Like I said, I didn't know the situation, the whole situation with he and his former wife, but I'm sure she probably went through the same thing I went through, but she never let me know that, and I only could go by the stories that he was telling me about them having issues and all that kind of stuff. And I'm sure they did because, based on her saying why she wouldn't sleep with him. But, in all fairness and honesty to me, everybody who knew me back then and knew us, during that time, they knew the story. He would tell them how hard I was. He was like, she was the meanest girl I've ever met. Because he was like, for the first 3 months, you couldn't even get a kiss from her. And he tells that story, and I'm sure it's on video from one of my birthday parties. So he knew who I was and how I was from the very beginning. So all this narrative they're trying to paint now, like, it wasn't like that at all. So, and I do have folks who will say that's exactly how it was. She told us she was not attracted to him and not just because he was overweight. It just wasn't attracted to him, period. And he had a great job and all that. I was not attracted to him, and that didn't faze me because I was like, I just was not. And as I got to know him, I was like, okay, he a nice guy. So I didn't use his size and the way he looked or anything like that against him. So I just felt he was a really sweet guy. But, y'all also ought to know that old girl is lying. And this ain't really about her, that she's lying, because can't nobody just walk up in the Delta Sky Club. Can't nobody just walk up on a plane, So that's just some, bullshit she putting out there. And she also told you all about the Europe thing. Remember I was telling y'all the story about when the day I found out everything, that he was coming from a business trip. It actually wasn't a business trip. It was him coming back from her birthday trip from Europe. I think they went to Paris, to Amsterdam, Tuscany, and somewhere else. But he told me that he was on a business trip, and I have all the text messages to prove it. And I wish I knew how to upload some of this shit on here as the pictures, because I got proof. And I got proof, too, that she knew that he was married and how she encouraged him to leave. But I might need them for court, y'all. But anything that I think I don't need for court, I'll post it because I don't have any reason to lie. So I'm just letting y'all know, you know. So if I owe anybody an apology, it might be his former wife, but that was, I would owe it. Oh, I don't mind, you know, giving her an apology, but that was based on the lies that he told me. I'm not saying that he has not told this girl the same lies, but I'm going to be accountable for my stuff. She not trying to be accountable for any of hers, but I'm just going to keep it 100 with you, y'all. So, like I said, this is the last one, but I want to be clear with y'all. If y'all got any questions for me, hit me up in my mailbox, and if I can hit you back, I will. Y'all have a good day. Thanks. Bye.